War Eagle War Rapport family, I am your host, C-Dub. Tonight, we make our Week 2 predictions with the competition going on in other games in the SEC, and we look ahead to San Jose State, previewing that game, and much, much more in tonight's edition of the Midweek Report. War Eagle, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the latest and greatest midweek report brought to you by show sponsor auburnsports.com. Guys, please head over there to get the latest intel regarding recruiting and all news Auburn athletics. Shout out to JG Tate and those guys for definitely supporting us and being a supporter and sponsor of our nightly show, Midweek Report. Also, we want to thank you guys for supporting us, watching live with us or on replay. We need you to do us a favor, though, if you're on social media, share this video, use the hashtag, help people to find our content, get in on this conversation, help us to grow our community, smash the like button. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button as well. We greatly appreciate it. Now, as for some of our exclusive content that you want to get access to, Ike is here to tell you how you can do exactly that.
Yeah, you all can come on board with the War Rapport. Membership at the War Rapport is not expensive, but it is worth every penny. $5.99 gets you to patron level where you are able to get access to stuff like watch the film, man. Look, Mike and I go back through the entire game and go play by play with you so we can see what happened in the previous game. I'm trying to get you some additional watch the film stuff on the upcoming matchups. So we got a lot of things that we're doing for you this year as patrons. You want to be a part of that. And our game day experience is a member only chat. So if you're not a member and you want to chat with us on game day, pregame, everybody, halftime, post game, members only. So you got to come on board at least at $3.99. If you aren't somebody who maybe has the money to do the membership thing right now, there are gifted memberships that happen out there in the War Rapport community. So be looking out for that sort of thing. But also, for people who are members, we're giving away tickets. Today was the last day for you to get on board for Penn State tickets. We're going to be announcing the winner to that coming up here soon. But we also have tickets to the Missouri game. So Missouri's next up. You need to be a member in order to be a part of this giveaway. So make sure that you are on board, locked and loaded with what we got going on, for the Missouri game coming up. This game, this week, and every week we give away something. This week we're going to give away one of these AU t-shirts. Hashtag get your weight up in the comments. Sponsored by War Eagle Oil. Go to wareagleoil.com for all of your motor oil and motor related products. wareagleoil.com. But hashtag get your weight up in the comments. If you want to enter the drawing today, you have to be present to win. Y'all keep going away from your computer and all that after you drop the hashtag. Stop doing that, so we can go ahead and get this stuff away, man. I don't want to keep all this stuff in my closet. I'm kidding. None of this in my closet. Doesn't really matter. But you still need to drop hashtag get your weight up to get on board with that. Yeah.
Guys, how are we feeling? Week 1 is in the books. It's week 2. How are we feeling about our Auburn Tigers going into this weekend?
San Jose State doesn't scare
You're
me.
muted, by the way, B.
I'm encouraged. Yeah, San Jose State didn't look good the first game, so.
Yeah, I'm not super listen, I don't like to say, oh, everything stuff is a gimme win. You still got to go out there and play the game. And it looks like it might be rain again. So listen, rain in the forecast always means something funky can happen. But I am confident in the team that I saw play last Saturday or this past Saturday can beat the team that I saw play in San Jose State. this weekend as well. So
For sure.
Indeed. Mike G, how you feeling, bro?
It's about the same as week one. Nothing's changed for me. They went out there, they handled business week one. I expected them to do that. So this should be more of the same. We're not really learning anything significant about this team until Penn State, I think. But I expect them to focus on execution and being assignment sound this week. And ultimately, position battles are still happening. This week. So I think everybody knows quarterbacks up in the air, maybe a little bit more than it was before we started the season. And other guys will be vying for spots this week as well, too. So this is kind of like the Auburn preseason.
Yeah.
It's like preseason, right? And guys are trying to get roster spots. So we saw more of Damari Alston than I thought we'd see in game one. I'll be interested to see if they let that young man get more time. All the running backs looked good. So we rotated a bunch of guys. I'm feeling good about how many guys that we saw last week, and I'm hoping to see just as much rotation this week.
I'm curious to see if we'll see Sean Jackson this weekend. So I'll keep an eye out for him as well.
Yeah, apparently he was dealing with a little something this past week. So I do anticipate them trying to get him some snaps. We had some early opportunities that I felt like would have been prime for Sean Jackson on 3rd and 4th and short. So I think that those will be times where we'll see him come into the game this week if we do get back into those situations.
Well, guys, listen, let's not waste time. We got a lot to talk about on tonight's show. Let's start with other games taking place this weekend. But before we do that, let's take a look at the scorecard after 1 week. Guess who's in front?
Look at that.
Look at God. Mike G, 13-1. And there's a 3-way tie for second place.
LSU screwed everybody.
Yeah.
God damn it, LSU.
Yeah, well, more on that
every time. I'm just glad I'm not the only one that got screwed by LSU.
Hey, I tell you this, it won't happen again.
For real.
All right. Let's get into it, fellas. Number 13, Wake Forest at Vandy. You see the line. What do we think happens here? I'm going to go first. I'm going Wake. Who wants to jump in here?
Vandy's going to win 3 games. Is this going to be the 3rd game? I think not. I don't know, man. I don't know. Somebody else go. Let me think about it.
Okay.
So I don't know what to think about Wake Forest. I mean, their quarterback is supposed to be back for this game. He didn't play in their first game. They pretty much won last year with defense. And I mean, I don't want to say they won with defense because they put up points too. I don't know, man. It's just hard because I don't know what to think of Vandy anymore.
You don't. You don't.
Normally, I just write this off and say
I'm going Wake Forest, man. I expect Vandy.
I would just write this off and say, Vandy's not winning, man. But
Vandy has to beat someone that they have no business beating before I really start giving.
But is Wake Forest that team that they have no business beating?
Number 23 in the country. I mean, by preseason metrics, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
That's a reward from last season, though. That's what that is.
They should know business beating this team.
I mean, but you have to argue that's a step up from who else they've been playing up to this point. But we'll find out. We'll learn a lot about Vandy this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going Wake too. I'm going Wake. I can't trust Vandy.
I can't go Vandy yet until I see them beat somebody for real. Just like I shouldn't go LSU till I saw them beat somebody for real. But I didn't think FSU was for real. Anyway, we're not there yet. Yeah, I'm gonna go Wake Forest on this one as well.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah, I mean I'm not super confident in Wake Forest winning this game just because again I don't know that Wake Forest can repeat last year's success. Number one, number two, I don't know what that quarterback is looking like coming back from his injury if he's 100%.
And I just know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I just don't know what to anticipate from Vandy this season. But I'll still go Wake.
So Hartman is back, but he did not participate for the last 6 weeks because he had a blood clot issue.
That's what I'm saying.
Forced him to medically retire. So he doesn't have an injury, but he also doesn't have any reps from fall camp. No games.
Medically sick, you mean, not retire?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Medically sick. So he didn't. Do you trust somebody to just come in and get in rhythm? I don't know. Now you ask me if I think Vandy could cover. whole nother story. Win.
Oh yeah, I would almost certainly
Yeah,
be
I mean,
certain
that's
that they would
fine.
cover this spread. I just don't know about getting the dub on this one. So,
I don't think
yeah.
they run away from it, with it, but we'll see. We'll see. I think all of us got Wake. Cleveland Brown says more collections for Pastor Ike regarding Sunday's roast.
he was really
Slash.
Folks was in their feelings.
Listen, man.
Bay Lyman, I saw this one and definitely wanted to grab it. I just want to come on here and say I love my War Report family. I'm grieving right now. Lost my sister yesterday. I probably won't be able to watch the game, but scored 50 for me. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Bay Lyman, for sure.
Send us your mailing address, business at the War Report, please, sir.
For sure. Definitely wanted to capture that. Our thoughts are with you. All right, next game, guys. Number 1, Bama visits Texas. This is their first meeting since the national championship game.
It is
several years back. A lot has changed since then.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think about this one?
Bama.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in Texas. Again, they're similar to Vandy in my mind. You got to beat somebody before I'm ready to say that you're ready to beat it easily one of the top 5 teams in the country. I mean, I'm not looking at their ranking right now. I'm just talking about, what we haven't seen on the field. I know talent-wise, Bama's always going to be at the top of the country. I'm not sure Texas is ready for that smoke. I'm going Bama.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by Quinn Ewers last week.
He wasn't impressive.
Yeah, so and I think that they're going to need an impressive showing from him to have a shot in this game. I did catch Texas Space earlier today. Man, that fan base is emotionally in shambles going into this one. Wow. And Bama fans are adding to their pain. So I'm going to go with
why are they in shambles?
Mean, it's just over the fact that they have no shot in this game. Like they're having a hard time coming to terms with the fact that their team should not be good enough to win this game. If they win, I would be shocked. I'm going to go with Bama here. I don't know. I wouldn't mind being wrong on this one. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a chink in the armor early for Bama. But
that's what I was going to ask you with that line. Is it a possibility we see a little vulnerability in Bama? Do they struggle? Do they struggle on their way to winning this game?
That interior offensive line is still soft.
I was about to say this comes down to whether or not Texas has enough horses along the defensive line,
right,
to make this interesting. Because if they can't stop the run and or get to the quarterback, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a real long day because Bama's defense actually looked
good.
Yeah. So, so here's the thing. How does Texas score points, right? So you have to stop Bama from scoring, keep it close, and hope they make a mistake. Texas is going to try to lean on their run game. Bama's not really having none of that. They're gonna make Quinn Ewers beat them. Is he ready to do that?
No.
Is Will Anderson not one of the best pass rushers in the country?
Yes. He is.
I don't know, cuz I don't know where Texas gets the points. Is my even if Bama's offensive line is not up to snuff, where does Texas get points from? I don't know.
Okay. I'm going Bama here as well. So right now we got all Wake, all Bama so far. Let's see if we get some separation here. South Carolina goes on a road to play at number 16 Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
This is a very intriguing one. I was thinking about this one today. This is not the toughest one to pick, I don't think, but this is an intriguing one. B's quarterback didn't look all that much last week.
Hey, that ain't no.
I was about to say, which one of these is B's quarterback?
No.
What do you mean?
You talking about? I thought you were talking about Rattler because I've been
that's what I'm talking about. Rattler
for like 5 years.
Man. That's about your boy Rattler. That's not your boy.
Don't do that.
All right, fine. All right. I put these notes up. I thought I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So what you think?
Rattler threw 1 TD, 2 INTs in their game against Georgia State. They won by like 20-something points. They covered the spread. It was defense. It was running the ball. It was a little bit of everything. It was not Spencer Rattler. He had a decent completion percentage, kind of like what he was at Oklahoma. He would complete at a fairly high clip, but he takes too many bad throws with the ball, and he turns it over. That was Georgia State. They pulled away halfway through the second quarter, early third. Arkansas is better than that. I don't think anybody will score a lot of points because I think Arkansas's defense is at least good enough. Although it wasn't like unstoppable against Cincy. Arkansas is good. South Carolina's just okay. I say Arkansas wins this game. Now the spread, though, I'll talk about that on Bet Will Be Will.
If this was a home game for South Carolina, I would be tempted to take South Carolina.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'd be very tempted to take South Carolina. I think because they're still trying to figure things out offensively, I think Arkansas gets them in this game.
Yeah, I'm going Arky as well. Similar to my comments about Texas and Vandy, until Spencer Rattler does it, I am not going to be a believer in Spencer Rattler.
Yep.
So I can't pick a team quarterbacked by Spencer Rattler right now against a team that's ranked in the top 20.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm going Arkansas.
Especially one that should be able to play good defense. So
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to this one. Another interesting one. Mizzou visits K-State.
Fuck right now.
I'm actually, I was going to say I'm surprised that K-State's favored here. They're at home, so they're going to get a couple of points just because of that. I mean, K-State they haven't been that great in the last couple of years, but
I don't know.
I don't know what
nothing
they've
about
been. I
K-State.
haven't watched them.
I don't know nothing.
Oh, they may be on the come up, and I just didn't know it because they weren't about to win the division or the conference. So
this game
that ain't
feels
saying
like
much. B. That's not saying much.
This feels like this is going to be a really messy game.
yeah,
It's in Manhattan.
yeah.
Ugh, I don't know about Missouri on the road versus K-State. I'm gonna actually take K-State here.
I haven't done any homework to know who K-State is, which is bad. So I'm guessing. I don't like guessing, but I'm gonna guess K-State because I saw Missouri play. I'm cataloging everything from last year, and that's not the best way to do it. But until I get some game film watched on them, I'm gonna say K-State.
Right.
K-State is supposed to be like one of those teams kind of climbing up into the top third of the Big 12 or whatever.
The Big 12.
I've been seeing some positivity from K-State fans. So I'm going to have to go Missouri. It's usually when you think your team's going to be good that they're not.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like I mean, I used to enjoy watching K-State during the L. Roberson, Darren Sproles days.
Mhm.
They were fun to watch back then. They just hadn't been able to find it. Who was the guy? Schneider, their iconic coach. They've been there for a while. I don't know. There's a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to be wrong about this one. I think it's kind of a toss-up. It's a noon game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I saw a little bit from Missouri in week 1 that looked somewhat promising. So to me, this is a pick 'em based on what I saw from both teams in week 1. So I'm just gonna go Missouri. This is a coin flip for me.
I'm gonna go Missouri here too.
Okay. Shout out to Daniel Speller, by the way, for the gifted memberships that you just threw out there, man. Appreciate that very much.
Appreciate it. Amani Smoot says, I'm not trying to look ahead, but I want to play Georgia bad. I'm not scared of Georgia. I want to go through them at their best. 15-0. Here we come.
Yeah, listen,
Bring
if you're gonna tweet all that sunshine, that need to be $150 super chat.
I'm not mad at it.
Say it with your chest.
He said, I'm not trying to look ahead, but I want to go 3 games into the future real quick.
Yeah, I ain't looking ahead, but when I look ahead,
right.
No, I'm not. Listen, I am definitely not mad at the optimism. Yeah, let's just beat San Jose State right now, and we'll worry about Georgia when it's time to.
Yeah,
for sure. App State at Texas A&M.
Oof.
Yeah, there's a lot of enthusiasm about App State, and zero way I'm picking them in that game. I still think Texas A&M's defense is good.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Aggies on this one.
I'm going Texas A&M as well because I just watched App State give up. How many points did they just give up to North Carolina?
63.
63
North Carolina
points
stopped
to North
scoring
Carolina
yesterday, actually.
And I mean, North Carolina's defense isn't anything to write home about. That's not going to be the case with Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I can't see this upset happening. I'm gonna go Texas A&M.
Yeah, I inadvertently skipped this spread. The spread is 19 in favor of Texas A&M, by the way. So
19, that feels disrespectful. Actually, maybe that's
think it's
confidence
right.
in App State's
What
offense
numbers-
because they can put up points.
They can.
But I think that's a little disrespectful to Texas A&M's defense.
But if A&M stops their offense, they're done.
Yeah.
But if
they're
A&M's
Can't
offense
score,
looks
right? Because
dysfunctional.
Haynes King is not. I keep forgetting
Exactly.
the young man's name from North Carolina.
Drake May.
Drake.
I know his name now.
Haynes
Drake
King is
May.
no Drake May. At least he hasn't shown that yet. But I don't know. I can't see an upset here. I'm gonna go Texas A&M.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I say
A&M.
same. Texas A&M's gonna win, but that 19-point spread though. Okay. All right.
All right, guys.
Did you pick? Oh yeah, Mike, you already picked.
Yeah. All right, guys. Number 24,
This is an interesting game.
Tennessee at number 17, Pitt.
This is an interesting game. I agree.
I'm team Hendon Hooker on this one. Like Pitt, like West Virginia essentially threw the game away against Pitt in week 1. Like I don't know, a lot of unforced errors. I watched every bit of that game. I didn't see anything super impressive from Pitt. I mean, they're a good team. They're a solid team. They're definitely a top 25 team. But I think Tennessee is a little underrated right now. And that's all of my belief in Hendon Hooker as a quarterback. So I'm going with Tennessee on this one. I think they pull the upset.
I agree. Tennessee is much better than they're given respect for, partially because they had lost more, like a handful of games last year. But Joe Milton is terrible.
That's
Like he shouldn't even be playing in the SEC. I don't know how he got a scholarship to Michigan. He's not good. He got in at the end of the Tennessee game last week. Offense just stopped happening. Everybody just froze. Linemen sat down on their butts. It was just like, nah, it was bad, man. So as long as Hendon Hooker is in there, I think they win by at least double digits at least. And they want to get it back in blood. They shouldn't have lost that game.
This is a
last year.
revenge game. This is a revenge game for sure. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee. Yeah, I'm going Tennessee. I believe in Josh Heupel and his ability to scheme guys open. I think Pitt puts up a fight, but no, I'm going Tennessee.
Tennessee here as well. Let's not waste a lot of time here. Georgia.
Yeah.
Mike.
Georgia.
Okay. All right. Next one, Central Arkansas against 22 Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm going Ole Miss on this one as well.
Ole Miss. Before we get there, let me grab this super. J-Rock, appreciate the super chat. Guys, do you all think Harsin is preparing Robby to take the Q1 job? Mike, you made a statement on Locked On this morning about kind of what you like Harsin is doing with Robby. You care to share your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not groundbreaking stuff. I just think that they're managing him because you're talking about a guy who had 0 snaps in a college game before last Saturday. So instead of throwing the whole world on a guy's shoulders in his first college time, Harsin is easing him in, and you've got a guy who's taken snaps before. And TJ Finley, he started. I think that they take the same tactic to this game. If Robby has a repeat performance, I think the more consistency he shows, or the more chances he gets to show consistency, the more they expand his role within this offense, because he does give you something different with his legs. And I know he doesn't like to be known as a running quarterback, but damn, man, he can go. And if you can get him out in space, he's a home run threat, just like Jarquez is, and Javarius is, and Tank is. And, why not? You've got 4 home run threats on the field. Yeah. So I think they expand his role, but I like what they're doing with him, not asking him to save the program from week 1.
Right.
This is smart coaching. This is how you ease a guy into the game and get him adjusted to the speed of the college game. And slowly expand his role and open up the playbook with him a little as well too. So I don't think that Robby may not have the command of the playbook that TJ has at this point, but he's also an elite athlete. And when I say elite, like there are few athletes in college football like Robby Ashford. So getting him on the field and getting time, I just think you harness it slowly and let him build into the player that he's going to be, because, man, it's not just for this year. Down the road, man, I mean, he's going to play another year of college football. Robby Ashford is going to play at least one more year of college football, and I think you're setting something up for crazy down the road by just easing him in rather than doing what the previous coach did and said, hey, save my job. Here you go. So that's what I think he's doing.
The question is he being groomed for the QB1 spot? He should be.
Yeah, I think any QB you put in the game is going to be being groomed to be QB1. Yeah,
now, if you're asking specifically, do I expect Harsin to make the switch from TJ Finley to Robby Ashford before this season ends? That's going to be decided on the field.
Yeah,
TJ's the starting quarterback, and unless TJ proves that he should not be starting any longer, he's going to continue to start, and Robby is still going to have a role in this offense.
Right.
If for whatever reason TJ, if he continues with multiple pick or multiple interception games, especially on situations where it's not just a great play by the defense, like he just poor throw or poor decision, then Robby Ashford's going to be the guy. But what I do want our fan base to do is not expect Robby to be perfect. Like the first interception that Robby Ashford throws, are we all of a sudden going to be like, oh, he sucks? This is why I want to see Zach Calzada. Like, just let the young man go play football, man. He's going to make mistakes. And that's actually the thing too, is like, I don't want to talk too much about our game because we've got more to talk about, but I do want to see Robby Ashford after adversity, right? Like when it hasn't gone right for him, how does he bounce back from that and be able to play after that? Because that's one thing I do know about TJ. Memory is short, bro. Like he don't care about making a mistake. He gonna bounce back up as if it never happened. Right. And that's kind of the mentality you want to be able to have at quarterback. You need to learn from it. So hopefully he's not just repeating mistakes because he forgot about it so quickly. But there's a lot to be said about a quarterback who can he does not get down on himself just because he made a mistake. So hopefully we'll see that from young Robby Ashford as well.
Guys, let's get back into it with the predictions. A big game here. Number 20, Kentucky visits number 12, Florida. First off, are we amazed at how big of a jump Florida made?
Aside one of the biggest jumps and one of the biggest drops. We've seen like simultaneously in 1 week. I mean, they swapped places with Oregon essentially. I think Utah was a little overrated, which is why I picked Florida. Like I was not impressed with that team. Florida record has not been great, but there are still tons of 5-star athletes down there. And, Napier organized it just well enough to pull out a win against Utah week 1. I think they continue to get better. Like I liked what he was doing. I think he managed his team well in a tough first game. So I'm riding the Florida train. I'm going to go with Florida again on this one. I mean, Will Levis is all right, but
Will Levis is going to be the best quarterback in the draft next year. Haven't you heard from the pundits?
Yeah, I'm going with Florida in this one. I think they pull this one out. This should be a good game to watch, though. Should be a real good game to watch.
Be what you think.
That line started at 8.5, like a day and a half ago, and it's now 6. Nobody thinks Florida's going to run away with it from Kentucky. At least most of the people putting down money don't. However, I don't really trust Will Levis that much. I don't really trust Kentucky that much. But honestly, I don't really know how much to trust Florida either. I'll give them the home field advantage, the atmosphere. Anthony Richardson is an elite athlete. He faked something, like he faked through it, then spun around and then threw it.
That was crazy. Like, I don't know whether to credit Anthony Richardson with creativity or think that defender is an idiot, but
maybe
two things can be true at the same time.
He definitely faked him out of his shoes. So
the experience that he got on the field last year seems to have prepared him to take the job this year. And I was wondering if I didn't know what type of offense Billy Napier runs, if they're gonna try to keep him in the pocket and do some throwing. They let him loose. And I think that was the absolute best decision for them to win games this year. All that being said, I do know that Kentucky is a very good defensive team.
Factual.
Mark Stoops is a very good defensive coach, and they saw Anthony Richardson last year, and they've seen him before. They've seen plenty of their athletes. A lot of teams end up in their division having these rivalries where, yeah, you might be better, but these teams always play each other tight. And Florida, Kentucky has kind of been like that the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Ooh. If Florida wins this game, and I got to go down to the mic, I'm not gonna be happy. But I can't say. Ooh, I don't even know if they got Rodriguez back.
He is not back.
He's not back.
No.
All right, I'm gonna go Florida.
That's what I was banking on. That was what I was banking on. Is that they'll lean heavy to the run, right?
No,
yeah,
he's not
good,
back
man.
for this game.
He's good, man. I'm going Florida.
I was actually not gonna say nothing and just let you pick Kentucky and be like, "Yeah, I'm going Florida."
Oh, Robin, see, Lawrence looking out. Good looking out, Lawrence. Good looking out. You saved me.
Yeah, I was gonna let you talk yourself into Kentucky, and I was gonna go Florida. But yeah, I'm going Florida.
Because that was gonna be my argument. Do they have to really? I mean, yeah, you're gonna need Will Levis to step up, but he has help in the backfield. No,
right?
Okay, if he's injured, then okay, got it. I'm going Florida as well, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an injury though. I don't think he's hurt. I just don't think
he had an during the offseason, he had a behavioral incident.
Mm-hmm.
He got arrested or
something. Oh, yeah. I remember about that.
He's suspension or something like that.
Yeah, and that's really the only reason I'm going Florida is because I don't think Kentucky's offense can put up enough points just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
that's always been their problem.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, and Corey actually just said it. I'm not 100% sold that Florida has a good defense because Utah didn't do themselves any favors in that game.
Right.
So
they never really have a good offense either. They are a traditional defense, maybe all right offense, but that's just been good enough to compete in the pack.
Right.
So that doesn't really translate down here. So that win for Florida doesn't necessarily mean that they're back.
Yeah. There's really only two fundamental reasons I'm going Florida here. I don't know that the Kentucky team will have a run game, and it's at home for Florida.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah, I just think what Napier did in week 1 with this team was I think he managed them well.
It was impressive.
And what was supposed to be it could have been a tough against a team that has a lot more continuity than they have in terms of coaching, and they went out and he just organized the game plan that gave them a chance to win. And then at the end of the game, he leaned on his playmakers to make plays to win the game. So I was really impressed with the coaching. I mean, that's another reason why I'm going Florida in this one. I'm taking Billy Napier over the other guy, Stoops. Yeah, taking Billy Napier. This is a Billy Napier show.
Mark Stoops is going to take offense to that.
He should. All right, Southern University.
Everything's cold.
Southern University. Right. Southern University comes to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, no chance here. LSU, the dumpster fire that's LSU. I'm still picking them over Southern University. I just can't.
Yeah, they're gonna be Southern. Man.
Yeah, they'll be Southern.
Yeah,
but we're gonna see who the true king of playing neck is this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not as down on LSU as everybody was after week 1. I think that it sucks that they lost to Florida State, but again, they fired their coach, and we did a space where the guy talked about similar problems they had in discipline and things that Kelly is having to come in and fix.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe some of them discipline problems showed up at the end of that game. He said that this was the first time like Kelly's bringing more of a business-like approach, and like guys are having to adhere to like standards and times for the first time in years. And it's not going over well with some of the guys that Orgeron just kind of let run roughshod over. So like
when you get a chance, when
the
you get
culture actually matters in what the product is on the field. It's a novelty thing.
Yeah, there's still a ton of talent.
Josh Pate did is a good segment that he has out right now about this. That he talks about LSU. Mike, I am down on LSU. However, I think this is things getting worse before they get better for that program.
Right.
I think eventually he will get guys in there who will be bought in to what he wants to do. But yes, you're right. This is year 1. You got a few of your guys from the previous regime who felt like they can come and go as they please, and they're getting hit with reality. And that's going to hurt you in the short term, but hopefully in the long term they get better.
Yeah, I will say I'm not high on Brian Kelly as a coach. I never have been. So this is just about the talent that he has in his program. Why I say I'm not down on him, it's not about him as a coach. This is the exact opposite of how I feel about Florida. Brian Kelly is and now he's up against much better coaches week in and week out.
And much better talent.
And much better talent week in and week out. So like I'm not certain Kelly is a good game day coach, particularly based on what Notre Dame has done on the big stage over the last decade.
Yeah.
They flopped hard. Every time he faces, that 2012 title game, it was embarrassing. I knew it. I told everybody this game's going to be over by halftime. So I'm not big on Brian Kelly. And, I don't like what he pulled in the presser the other day as well, too. So, there's a lot about this guy, just not like his accent changed back after the loss. You guys heard it.
That LSU reporter, am I right?
He walked into the press conference and said and commented on them being late. Like Isaac and I, we were at the Birmingham Bowl. We were trying to get from the press box to the press room, and it was hell. Like security was telling us we couldn't go the only route we had to go to the press room. We missed like the first third of the press conference. I just thought it was very unprofessional of him to comment on the media being late when so many times we're just sitting around for like an hour and a half waiting on the coach to come in.
Right.
Give me a break. How long did you have to wait, bro? Like 3 minutes?
Did y'all see? Exclusive TV says, did y'all see what the reporter said to Brian Kelly?
Man.
Yeah. That's
what Jazz was talking about. Yeah.
Savage.
That was hilarious.
Also, listen, that's unprofessional on her part.
For sure.
He opened the door for that unprofessionalism.
Yeah, it's like
he's not off the hook.
Right. You poked fun at them and then she shot back at you and you're sitting there looking like, oh, how dare you say it's like no,
bro.
You don't get to just sit here and say what you want to me. And then I just sit here and take it because I'm part of the press. Like,
no, we're not playing that game.
All right, guys.
She could have just waited and wrote an awful story about him later, but
sure.
I'm sure she will still.
Yeah, it's gonna be tons of stories about his.
But now it's a setup to her amazing story.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, guys. Last game before we get to the break: Mississippi State at Arizona. I'm going Mississippi State here.
Why is Mississippi State playing at everybody else's weird conference school? They play at Memphis. Who goes to Group of Five to play home and homes? They're playing at Arizona. Why? What are you doing? I guess they got a lot to prove.
Arizona's a Group of Five.
Almost.
Yeah, I'm still going Mississippi State.
I'm going Mississippi
State here.
Yeah, Will Rogers looked impressive in week one. 38 for 49 for 450 yards and 5 TDs. I've been real high on Will Rogers since last season. I expect that to continue against Arizona.
Well, guys, we want to hear from you. Your thoughts on the games, other games in the SEC that we've already previewed and gave our predictions for. Who you got? Let us know in the comments, especially if you're watching on replay. Let's take a pause for a break to acknowledge the sponsors of the War Rapport.
This edition of the War Rapport is made possible by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn Sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. Athletic Architects. For young athletes looking to secure their financial future, let Athletic Architects help you to build your financial house. Head over to BuildTheHouse.com. And our giveaway sponsor, War Eagle Oil. War Eagle Oil is your #1 place for all of your motor oil and related products. For more information, visit WarEagleOil.com.
As always, special thanks to the sponsors of the War Report and thanks to you all who have been consistently supporting us with your membership. If you want to come on board with a membership of the War Report, $5.99 is the patron level that gets you all access to all of the things that we do at the War Report, and that includes the Watch the Film series that has been going really well. You guys always enjoy that, and I enjoy doing that, so you guys make sure that you continue to come on board. $5.99 per month. If you can't afford it, maybe one of your friends out there will gift a membership. Membership gifting is a thing now on YouTube. If you want to be able to do that, you have to do it from a desktop computer. You can't do that from your mobile app, but you can go and gift a membership to someone right there from the live. So again, shout out to those who've been already doing that there in the comments section. We give away tickets to every home game, and we've got 5 in a row this year to start the season. The next one coming up is going to be Missouri. You've got to be a member in order to be a part of this. Doesn't matter what membership level you're at, you can be a part of this drawing. We'll be doing a drawing for the membership base to get 2 tickets to the Missouri game here coming up today. So if you weren't already a member, sorry to you. We'll have to get you in for the next one for Penn State, but we will be doing the drawing before next week's show for Missouri. We're giving away stuff every time that we come into this here live, and we're giving away an AU t-shirt. Hashtag get your weight up in the comments, sponsored by War Eagle Oil. Head over to wareagleoil.com once again for all of your motor oil related products. wareagleoil.com. But hashtag get your weight up. You have to be present in order to win this. Yeah, indeed.
I forgot. Thanks, Anthony Rudd. I forgot DJ Williams was at Arizona.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Mississippi State by 30.
Okay.
I ain't gonna disrespect.
Did it go? Did the score go up just because of that fact? Or
If he's their starting running back, then yes.
He wasn't one of the guys that was.
No, he wasn't. He just wasn't
no.
there. That he wasn't that good though. He was just okay. He
went to Florida State first.
I'm about to say he could barely
right?
start the crack the starting rotation at Florida State after he transferred from here. So I just don't see him being a game changer for their offense. And if he is the guy that they're leaning on, I don't see it.
Let's move on, guys. Let's talk about our game. Auburn will meet San Jose State this Saturday at 6:30 Central Time. That game will be featured on ESPNU. Auburn is the favorite here. You see the line there, -22. Over and under, the ESPN's Football Power Index gives Auburn a 96% chance of winning. Auburn leads this series 12-0. The last time they played, I think that's a typo there with the Mercer score
sorry.
there.
I didn't even change that from the last graphic. That's definitely from last week. Sorry about that. I don't even know when the last time we played San Jose State.
But say, when was the last time we played San Jose State?
I don't know.
It's neither here nor there. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this game. Just initial thoughts. We saw some changes in the roster. We'll see more of that once we look at the matchups. But Javarius Johnson is your starting slot receiver, and I believe who's the guard who's now starting?
The right guard is Stutz.
Yeah, Stutz. Stutz is now starting. So how do we feel about this, gentlemen? I mean, obviously with the game Johnson had, you could see this coming, right?
Right.
So, yeah. I think Johnson earned the ability to come in here. And so I don't think he was so far behind Dawson to begin with, right? I think it was just more so about some other stuff that was going on than it was about talent. Dawson is definitely up and coming, but Johnson has the most experience, and he definitely showed out 17? I can't remember what
17,
yardage.
I think.
117 yards on 4 catches in the last game. He showed a definite deep threat ability. Yeah, I think that was well earned. And then Cam Stutz, man, I'm a big fan of Keandre Jones. I thought he was one of our more menacing offensive linemen for a while. But Cam Stutz had a good game. He had a good game. He was, they were 1A and 1B going into the first week, and I think Cam Stutz performed a little bit better. So not upset about that. And as well, I think, Brandon Council had a good game, and I don't know that. Council had a decent game. I could point out some times where I was like, I don't know what you're doing right there, sir. But he did have a decent game. He looked more mobile than he had been previously. I don't know if he's healthier than he said, I think, coming into the season, this was the healthiest that he has been going into a season.
Yeah, he had a foot injury. He talked about it at the presser on Monday with the players. He said it was a long road back to get back to fully healthy, but this is the healthiest he had felt in a really, really long time. And that he's feeling the effects of the recovery and the strength and conditioning program and all that. So, yeah, he says he's feeling good.
Yeah. So, I like what we're trotting out here offensively. Looking forward to seeing how Coach Keesaw calls game number 2, because he had a really good game plan going into game 1. So very interested to seeing how he calls game 2.
Real quick before we get into this, Stone Cold MA1 says Mike G is the man. 2 questions. One, where will y'all be for pregame? Second, which game will Auburn have 3 100-yard rushers?
Western Kentucky.
I was about to say maybe
Yeah,
the Western Kentucky game.
maybe.
I mean, so
Maybe that
here's the
one.
thing. Robbie
Right.
has the opportunity to be that third person that could do it.
Mhm.
And we could definitely have 2 running backs. I don't know if this is going to be the game that's going to happen,
It could be.
but I wouldn't rule it out. So,
Right.
you know, it could be this game, but Western Kentucky will probably be the next opportunity for that to happen. I'll be watching Missouri a little bit more closely this week to see what their defense looks like. But yeah, I don't know that this is impossible.
All right, guys. I see the alignment here that we see for, I guess this is a 3-4 or.
Yeah, they run a 3-4 typically, and what they'll do is they'll mix the front up so that they'll bring in one of those linebackers and have them as a 4th guy close to the line of scrimmage. But they usually are, well, again, based upon the one game that I watched, right? They weren't rushing more than 3 often. Like they weren't even blitzing with a 4th person a lot. And I was just like, I don't know how that's going to work. Cause like, I mean, I think that they were more concerned. They played a lot of zone last week because Portland State's quarterback is mobile. And so I don't know if they're going to switch that up when TJ's in the game, if they're going to try to, you know, bring more down and rush more because they're not as concerned with TJ running the ball. But when Robby comes into the game, this feels like a Robby Ashford go nuts game because I watched the Portland State quarterback do damage to them. And if it weren't for the fact that they, for whatever reason, screwed up in the red zone multiple times, Portland State would have won this game.
Yeah.
Right.
They had a interception in the red zone. They had a 4th down stop on like the 1 yard line before the half, and then close to the end of the game, they couldn't punch it in in the red zone. So they had 3 opportunities where they gave the ball away in the red zone, and I think they even kicked a field goal one time when they got down to the red. So like they couldn't score touchdowns in the red zone. And so, but I feel like Robbie's would go nuts against this team because Portland State does not have the athletes that Auburn has.
Right.
And that Portland State quarterback really was giving them the blues for a lot of that game.
He really was. He was like he looked like a 6'4", a skinny basketball player, man. Like he wasn't even fast. He was just shifty a little bit and pretty accurate throwing the ball. And he just murdered them. I don't know how we don't obliterate these dudes. Like we should win by 35. That's what I expect. I expect us to win by 35.
What do we think about the QB situation overall in terms of, is it more the same in terms of how they managed the QBs last week? Do we expect to see a little bit more of Robby based on how he performed last week? What do you guys think?
I think he gets into for an entire drive sooner. I don't think they wait till the second half to give him drives. I think we'll still see him in spot duty, but I don't think it's going to take mid-3rd quarter, and it's not going to take 2 INTs from TJ Finley before they put him in to let him get his own drives. He needs reps. They talked all offseason about how TJ has this command. How is Robby going to get that command if he doesn't get the opportunity to do it? So while he was effective every time he came in, that's not the same as running the offense. A lot of those were call runs or call reads where you're not really reading the defense. You're reading the end and you make your move. But they want to get him reps. I think he's shown, yes, he can ball. Everybody knew he could ball. Everybody in camp knew he could ball. You got to get him reps. You got to give him reps to control the offense. And I think they try to do that a little sooner than they did last week.
Like how vulnerable against the run was San Jose State against Portland State?
I mean, it wasn't, they weren't getting pushed around in the run game, but again, I think we've got a different caliber of size and strength in our offensive line, so I don't know where to judge that. Interestingly enough, the running back for Portland State was Van Buren, who used to be the running back at Boise State, and he was there for a couple of years under Brian Harsin. He ran well. He caught the ball pretty well out of the backfield. He's a bigger, more bruising back. He's more Sean Jackson than he is Tank Bigsby. But I mean, he did okay. But again, close to the goal line, they just couldn't punch it in, even with trying to give him the ball. So they did well up front managing against the run, but it was the QB run that really just kind of killed them. The quarterback is who damaged them over and over again.
Which is why you're liking Robby in this game.
Man, the quarterback draw, the just scramble out of the pocket, the naked bootleg stuff. Now Portland State ran mostly out of shotgun. I don't actually know if they took any under center snaps in that game. I'm thinking back, I don't think they took any under center snaps except for maybe those goal line situations. So they were doing a lot of stuff out of shotgun, but let's say the QB hurt them a lot with his ability to be mobile. And it wasn't just like him scrambling around and then making a play happen. It was literally like, oh, my read isn't there, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Owen says, if TJ has multiple turnovers in this game, what action would the coaches take, in your opinion, fellas?
I think it depends on what those turnovers look like. I mean, multiple turnovers is never going to be a good situation. Yeah. And here's the thing, and I said this, I don't actually remember when I said this. I don't think even if TJ goes and scores, like let's say that pass isn't underthrown and it's a touchdown, I still don't think he would have come back in the game after that drive. Right. I think that was going to be the last drive for TJ Finley, regardless of the outcome of that series, because they wanted to see more of Robby Ashford. So it felt like he got benched after an interception or after a turnover. I don't think that that's the reality. I think the reality is that was his last series anyway. Right. So multiple turnovers. I don't know how ugly those turnovers look. When do they happen in the game? What's the circumstances of it? I think will play a factor into what the reaction from the coaching staff is. And then how well does Robby play? Right. Like, I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know if I can just unpack that in a small answer. Maybe Mike, you might have more definitive thoughts on that than I do, but
yeah, I don't. Like I said, I think what you said is right. It just depends on what those turnovers look like. Like, not every turnover is on the quarterback. Is it a good pass and it's tipped? And like if he's responsible, if it's the same types of turnovers that we saw in game one, then obviously that just that wouldn't bode well for any quarterback headed into your first big non-conference matchup of the year. So we overtalk this, but the bottom line is if he plays well, he'll stay in, and if he doesn't, then they're going to shrink his role and expand the other guy's role. Right. That's where we're at. The best guy is going to be on the field. There's an irrational fear from fans that if TJ didn't play well, we would just stick with him all season and win 5 games. And I don't know why anybody, after watching this last coach bench the last quarterback versus Georgia State, I don't know why anybody would think that we would carry that same narrative into this year. I think he did what he had to do to get through year one. In the offseason, they make sure they wouldn't be in the same position this year where they were just stuck with a guy if he wasn't playing well. So I expect him to go with the guy who's playing well, and if they both play well, they'll both continue to have a role. Right. And that's really that simple.
To that point, they are about to play Penn State, and I don't think they've even scratched the surface of what's in the playbook. And for that reason, they'll probably be a little coy with play calling. I don't think they'll try to get too exotic if they don't have to. More like running-based things, do some exotic stuff to maybe throw Penn State off. But I don't think it's going to be, here are our zone beaters. Here are our plays that we need to absolutely get points in this dire situation. They're going to keep some of that in their back pocket. And I'm sure whatever Keesaw called, which, by the way, let's give Keesaw some kudos, because that was probably one of the best called offensive games I've seen on an Auburn in 16 years. It might be a little bit more, dog. It might be a little bit more. It might be a little bit more.
Watch it.
I'm getting excited, though. You're going to get me talking, dog. Hold on now.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that one. My bad.
It was right there. It was easy.
Yeah,
it was easy. Keesaw called a good game, man. Yeah. Like that's what was most impressive. Like, even when Brian Harsin was going to do the game planning for the Houston game, it was like, that's it. And that's not because we felt like one is just to look different than it had looked all season. It looked a little different, but it didn't look drastically different. The results were just underwhelming, and we were all a little disappointed with that. But last game was like, I see different things. And these things look effective. Even though it's a lesser opponent, these things look effective. So, yeah, I want to give kudos to Keesaw. But I don't think what we see from either one of these guys is going to be everything that they've got planned for this season, because they're still learning, and they know they got a lot of people to try to cut down this season. They can't put it all out there. But playing 2 guys allows you to keep some stuff in your back pocket. We don't have to empty the whole offense with any individual game because we got stuff we can run with the other guy that you've never seen before. So they're in a good position with 2 guys.
If you have to open up the bag to beat San Jose State, we're in trouble for the rest of the year. Like, they just need to be able to man up, play the base version of the offense, man, do some things that look tricky for the next week, and then move on to Penn State. So
pretty much the same thing we saw last week.
Yeah,
they're gonna stay in a base defense. They're gonna try to run a basic offense,
right?
And hope that our athletes are just good enough to go out there and get a win without having to reveal too much. They're gonna throw something out there just so Penn State has to think about it on tape. But
I'm not making any judgments about play calling until after Penn State.
That's fair.
Because they I mean, when the defensive coordinator on the other side is a little better at stop, and he's got more horses to stop what you're trying to do, that's when you see how good play calling is. So it looked different, sure, but like, is it going to be more effective? That's wait and see.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's true. Well, I mean, I don't recall complaining about play calling until Penn State, so that's a fair point. Before we get, you can go ahead and flip the field for us, B. But while he does that, really cozy. Appreciate the super chat. How do y'all feel about J.J. Evans hitting the portal? I'll start with you, Ike.
I mean, again, J.J. Evans was a mythical creature in my mind anyway. I didn't know that he was even still on the team. He had been dealing with injury. Hopefully he finds a place that will be able to utilize his skills because he seems like a skilled athlete. But I think we've got a lot of talent in our wide receiver room. I wish him the best.
Well said, sir. All right. What do we got, B? This is the San Jose State offense, Auburn defense.
Yep.
Before we get to the quarterback, let's talk about their O-line. They replaced, I think they had 3 new starters going into this season and gave up 7 sacks. 7 sacks to Portland State on last week. Much was made about the pass rush for Auburn last week. Do they turn loose this week, you think?
I'm going to go with yes, the defensive line is going to look better this week. Again, just off of the fact that I'm not sure they have the pass blocking ability to stay with. Listen, Echo Leota was a man possessed out there last week. He was showing up all over the film. I'm looking forward to seeing him wreaking havoc off of the edge. Their tackles are going to have a problem dealing with him. Derek Hall looked really disciplined. But yeah, I do expect the pass rush to be much improved. We didn't blitz a lot last week, right? So it was just everybody was just on an island. Do what you're supposed to do. We're going to just stay in the base and make it happen. But I do anticipate us having more pressure on their quarterback this game. But their quarterback is mobile, so they're going to have to still be disciplined in the pass rush. So that means, to the chagrin of a lot of people, they're probably going to play a lot of zone on the back end just so that they don't have their back turned to a mobile quarterback. So,
and you said that they want to be kind of like an RPO type offense, throw the ball. They didn't do a lot on the ground running wise, but the quarterback got sacked a lot, so that kind of hurt their rush totals. But they want to throw the ball. So what do we expect to see? Again, you already kind of alluded to it in terms of playing zone, keeping everything in front, expecting a lot of soft coverages. Do you think San Jose State will be able to exploit any of that, if at all?
I mean, possibly. When zone doesn't mean soft, right? Like it just depends on what you're doing and how you're mixing up your zone looks. And so what's going to be important in this game, I think, is going to be how well we're able, like the quick screens to the outside stuff that you do in the RPO game is going to be important, that those the read and reaction coming from, a Kaufman or whoever's going to be in slot is going to be important in this game. How we handle those things and then not getting caught sleeping when they go into more of a tempo. So this is actually going to be a good warm-up game for Penn State. Because Penn State's going to try to do a lot of that. They're going to try to play tempo. They're going to try to spread you out, and they're going to try to get, quick hitters with the run just to keep you honest. It's going to be a good warm up for a Penn State game. But I don't anticipate us going into a lot of man and trying to, lock down on the outside and send guys after this quarterback. I think it's going to be pretty base shell and let your athletes do what they're supposed to do.
Mike G, thoughts on the defense? Anyone you're looking at to have a big game?
Yeah, I mean, again, you said it. They gave up 7 sacks, and their whole O-line graded out below average. Their quarterback was under a 35% pressure rate. Our defense should eat against this offensive line. So we've got better athletes. We match up well. Their quarterback was 50% passing on the day. I mean, he had 30 attempts. This is not a good offense. And their receivers dropped 4 balls as well, too, which attributed to his completion percentage being low. I mean, these guys are just not good. There's no other way to say it. It's not good. So I'll be disappointed if we give up any points to them. I'm not particularly a shutout, only because the turnovers on offense are what make me nervous about saying, hey, the defense is going to pitch a shutout, because if you give any team enough chances offensively, they're going to drive down the field and kick a field goal or get close enough. Like I don't. This is a team we should shut out, but I need to see again if we take steps forward offensively to keep the defense off the field, limit possessions, win the field position battle, and give these guys a chance to dominate this team defensively. So yeah, I mean they're not. I mean, statistically from the film, everything. This is not good. There were some idiots predicting that we would lose this game, and I just heard all kind of foolishness. If we lose this game, again, just shut it down the rest of the season. Yeah, San Jose is a good team, and they're not good. They're not good at football. All right, I'm not sure why they have a program. We should win this game easily. We should coast into the second half, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see our third string quarterback get time in this one. I don't think, like I said, anything can happen, but this should be a pretty uneventful game. This is going to be about how focused Auburn stays and not looking past them to Penn State. But if they stay in the moment, they dominate this game defensively.
Ike B, any closing thoughts before we get to the Jazzy's challenge?
I want to see more Keontae Scott, man. I thought what he showed towards the end of the game, I thought, based on everything we heard out of camp, I predicted he'd be a starting corner. He was not. I don't want to rail too much on Pritchett. First game, Harsin actually kind of called out the entire secondary. He said, I feel like if the ball's in the air, we should be in position to compete for that ball. And we weren't. And that's something we got to get better at. So I don't think they allowed too much. Not back there. And not from this quarterback. Again, San Jose State is not good. So I don't expect – I think we probably have a better chance to shut out here, especially coming off of how the secondary played last game, than we do later in the season. So I'm going to – I want to see Scott, though. I want to see him opposite Simpson at corner. And I like Kaufman as one of the safeties. I also like him at nickel. Kaufman, man, Kaufman's good. He's better this year. He looks better, and he played better game one. I really like our secondary, but I think Scott makes our secondary the best secondary it could be. So I'm hoping he gets more reps this week.
All right, guys, before we get to the break, guys, appreciate that, B, sharing that. Let's get to our challenge, shall we?
Yeah. Welcome to another Jazzy Challenge.
So Jazzy Joe's challenge is Ike and C. Does Robby throw for his first touchdown Saturday? I'm thinking, yeah, Ike. What do you think?
I'm going to go yes on this as well. I think he's just going to get more opportunities to do it this week. And I think he's going to get a touchdown throw to somebody this week. Yeah.
Mike and B, which running back gets more TDs? 200 for each correct answer. Answer as one.
So you guys have to agree on the running back. We had to agree on whether Robby does it. So we get 200 if me and C are right, 200 if you and B are right.
I kind of think they might use Jarquez closer to the goal line again. And I don't think it's because he's a better red zone runner. I think they're going to save some of the formations that they're going to use Tank in until we play some real people. So for this week, I'll say Jarquez. What you think, Mike?
No, I think Tank. I just think the Jarquez had more touchdowns just because of the rotation and how they were moving down the field. I don't Tank scored from out, but they both scored on goal line plays.
Right.
I don't think there was any rhyme or reason to how they were using those guys other than just rotating guys in and out of the game based on how they moved down the field. So I would go with Tank in this one.
You guys have to agree, though.
I'll go Tank. I don't
right.
think it's predictable. We can say
we
Tank.
got yes and Tank for our two answers there. We will see.
See what happens. See what happens. Guys, we are giving away something. Okay? We're giving away an AUT shirt, courtesy of War Eagle Oil. Drop the hashtag in the comments so you can enter to win, and you best to hurry. Because these days, we don't wait. Ike?
Yeah. We got a lot of people. Yeah, it's just time to hit this, man. We're not gonna play around with 150 people in for the drawing. Hashtag get your weight up. We're giving away that AUT shirt to the lucky person, courtesy of War Eagle Oil, Brandon Griffin. Brandon Griffin, you have to be present in order to win your shirt. So make sure you holler at us in the comments. You guys look out for them, because sometimes I'll be missing this stuff right here, man. But we are gonna get into the next segment here. Quick commercial break, and then we're gonna preview not a new segment, but an old segment in a new way. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go into where is my guy from? With just a little quick word from our sponsor for this segment, our guys at the Rogue Shop.
This episode of the War Rapport is brought to you in part by Rogue Shop. Looking to reduce stress or improve your quality of sleep? Rogue Shop has you covered with a wide range of premium products, including gummies, bath salts, and oils. Go to rogueshop.com and use code RAPPORT when you check out. That way, they know we sent you. All right?
Hey, we are debuting an old segment at a new time. And we're going to do Facts or No. We're going to do it live. So, guys, it's time for another great edition of Facts or No. This is the San Jose State edition. We're going to get it kicked off like this. Facts or No, Robby Ashford runs for 100 yards in game 2 versus San Jose State. Chat, chime in. Guys, chime in.
I am going to say facts on this. I already said I think San Jose State struggled last week with a running quarterback. Even if they try to get that together, I do think that Robby Ashford is just a different breed of athlete to be able to deal with, and he's going to get his 100 yards. I mean, he was close to getting it last time. I'm going to go facts on this one. Robby Ashford for 100 yards.
I say facts as well. I think he gets more complete drives, probably more snaps overall. And yeah, they want to get him throwing more, but he's still a weapon with them legs, man. I think he gets it. Facts.
Definitely going facts here. Portland State's quarterback actually ran for 83 total yards last week. And I'm going to have to go with the fact that our quarterback is a better athlete and will be able to definitely hit the century mark on the ground. Facts, big time.
Yeah, I'm going to go facts on this one. I think that this game, he breaks the big one. So he came really close in the last game to breaking that all the way down the sideline. He had one man to beat. Told us in an interview he wished he had gave him the 1-2 to the inside and then took it all the way. I think he does it this time. Robby Ashford is a problem. I say facts. He goes for about $150 on the ground.
$150, okay.
$150 on the ground.
Okay.
All right, fellas, here we go. Facts or nah? The Auburn defense forces its first turnover of the season against San Jose State. What are we thinking?
When you get no turnovers?
No.
Shit, I'm going facts. They went a whole game against Mercer without a turnover? By the law of averages, this is a fact.
Shoot.
I wanted a Kaufman pick 6 in the last game. I think this game, they finally get that turnover. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Derek Hall sack fumble either, or an Eku Leota sack fumble. Those guys were eating last week. I'm surprised it didn't turn into turnovers, but I'm going facts on this one. Pick 6, sack fumble. They're getting it. Facts.
Now, we forced a fumble in the game. We just didn't recover it. So.
Yeah, I ain't turnover unless you get the ball.
Yep.
I'm going facts here. Very, very vulnerable O-line that San Jose State brings to Jordan Hare. Our defense is hungry. I think with a mobile QB running for his life in this game, I actually expect a fumble in this game and a recovery for our defense. Remains to be seen if we're able to get a pick due to pressure. That'd be great as well. But I think we actually recover a fumble in this game. And if the weather is iffy on Saturday, that'll definitely create an opportunity for that to happen. So I'm going facts on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything they said, the weather, sloppy, slippery ball, that O-line running quarterback that's trying to do too much. Recipe for disaster for San Jose State. We get at least 2 turnovers this game. Facts.
2. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it a clean sweep here and say facts. This defense, if you listen to the interview we did with Donovan Kaufman, they've been working on trying to force more turnovers this year. Marquise Burks also talked about this a little bit. He had the opportunity to recover the fumble in this last game. Burks, what's up, man? So we got to make sure that we're capitalizing on those opportunities. I think we're going to get more of those opportunities in this game. I'm going to go facts. We get our first turnover of the year from the defense.
All right, guys, facts or nah? For the second week in a row, Auburn will have a receiver get 100 yards in the game. What you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go facts on this one. I'm praying it's Malcolm Johnson. He had 1 target, it felt like, last week. I'm hoping they spread the ball around again this week. We saw a lot of different receivers get in the game. We saw Coy Moore get in there. We saw Javarius. We saw Tavares. Javarius was the one who ate, but I think somebody else eats this week. I think multiple guys eat this week. So hopefully if the downfield passing is on target again, somebody will get 100 yards. So I'm going facts on this one.
I think I'm going to go facts on this one as well. If you watched Portland State and their ability to attack with their slot receiver absolutely torched San Jose State for Portland State. And I think we have better slot talent on this team. So I think that this may be another Javarius Johnson 100-yard game. I mean, they may be ready for it, but I don't see how the guy who they kept throwing to over and over and over and over again for Portland State continues to get open, and we can't produce that same thing. I'm going to go facts on this one right here. Another 100-yard reception game for some receiver, likely a slot or a tight end.
Yeah, man, we're going to get it. We're going to get it because we're going to get it. They trash. Let's go.
Fair enough.
I'm
going for the straight sweep on this one. Facts. Their leading receiver had 133 yards receiving. The second best receiver had 76. Got pretty close as well. Their receivers ate all in all. I expect ours to eat. I think our passing game will be a lot more crisp this week, and I think guys will definitely benefit as a result of QB play. We definitely get a 100-yard receiver, at least one. I'm going facts here.
All right.
I think it's B.
Well,
sorry.
B, yeah.
All right, fellas. Facts or nah? Cam Riley leads the team in tackles for the second straight game.
I likes this one. I likes this one. Likes this one.
I'm gonna say facts on this. I think Cam Riley is a guy who just knows where he needs to be. He's a sound tackler. They're going to be trying to get the ball out quickly again against this defense. So I anticipate that our interior defensive line is not going to have as many opportunities. He's just going to have more bites at the apple to be able to get those. So I am going to go facts. Cam Riley again leads the team in tackles.
I'm going to go nah here. I'm just going to go against the grain a little bit. I'm going to go with Pap. I'm going to go with Papo. I think he has a big game this weekend. Okay. I like how Sims flies around to the ball. Probably would have said him had you not have said it, Ike. But I'm going to be different and say Papo. Nah.
Yeah, I'm going to go facts. Maybe, our lead tackler is emerging. Who knows? I don't know if we learned anything from Mercer. So he may be the guy. Maybe we found a tackle monster like we had as Zacoby McClain, who led all the NCAA in tackles or was top 3 for 2 years straight. So I'm going to go facts on this one. I like what I saw from Cam. He looked aggressive. I think he remains aggressive going into San Jose State. That turns into more tackles.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cam Riley's going to get all the tackles. We might have another tackle monster, and I'm excited about that. Somebody we can rely on in the middle, man. Facts.
All right, so this is our fan question portion. This is your chance to get involved in Facts or Nah. Drop your Facts or Nah questions in here. We can go back to the 4 screen. And we will talk about the questions that you guys drop in here for us.
Facts or no? We get our first peek at Calzada in this game.
Nah,
I don't see it happening, man. If we go to a third quarterback, I actually think it's going to be the freshman Holden Garner's going to get his opportunity if we go 3 deep at the quarterback position. Yeah, I'm going to say nah.
Yeah, no, I agree. No.
Yeah, no, I did like what I saw from Calzada on the sideline, though. He was up and engaged in the game and seemed like he was being a good teammate. So I like what I saw from Calzada. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if they've been completely forthcoming about why he hasn't been, why he was so far back in the quarterback race. But I'm going to go nah. I think reps are precious for Robby Ashford right now. And I think that you get him as many reps as you can.
The only reason, and I agree. I echo that. I'm going to say nah because Penn State's right around the corner. You do want the guys who have been playing to get more comfortable in this offense. And I think you need more reps to do that. So I agree, gentlemen. It's a nah for me. James Burnett, facts or nah, does Robby run and throw for a TD? Now, obviously, Ike and I have said that he throws for a TD. I think someone else says that we also said he's going to run for 100 yards. Does that result in a touchdown as well, gentlemen?
Man,
this is a good one.
Have no idea how this game is
going. I'll go facts on this one. I think he breaks a big one. I also think, he came close. If he had led Javarius just a little bit more to the inside, that would have been a touchdown last week. So, yeah, I'll go facts on this one. I think he rolls in, throws one. I expect us to score a crap ton of touchdowns in this one, though. So, there should be enough touchdowns to go around. One on the ground, one through the air.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go facts as well. I don't have any reason to doubt the young man. He looked good in the first game. He had opportunities to both run for a touchdown and pass for a touchdown in this first game. As Mike said, he leads Javarius a little bit more to the sideline rather than up the field, and Javarius probably keeps running away from that defensive back. He had an opportunity close to on the long run that he had to break one, and then another one closer to the end zone. He, shoestring tackle, and he would have been in the end zone on that one. So I think this week is the week that he breaks through in possibly in both ways. So I'm going to go facts.
Okay.
Yeah, facts.
Few facts.
Yeah, facts.
I'm going to go facts here as well. Hugh Rayleigh says, facts or not, Ike going to draw again.
The answer to that is nah, because we already had our winner say something here. Brandon Griffin is here. So make sure you hit us up, Business at the War Rapport, with your address and your T-shirt size, and we will get your shirt out to you. Once again, thank you to War Eagle Oil for sponsoring this week's giveaway, but congrats to Brandon Griffin.
For sure. All right, guys, let's get to the next one. I think I had Hugh Rayleigh. Oh, yeah, he already did that one. Trey Johnson. Facts or nah, Damari Alston gets over 50 yards rushing.
Ooh, how many did he have in the first game? Like 20-something?
I have to look and see.
I'm going to go nah on this one.
If Sean Jackson is
healthy, if Sean Jackson's healthy, I don't know if he gets enough touches to do it. So I'll go nah.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to go nah as well.
I see. I've got the stats somewhere around here.
I got it right here. Damari Alston, he only had 9 yards.
9? Oh, yeah. No, he's not going for 50 this game.
Yeah.
He's going to have to break a long one.
For sure. Let's see here. Life with Maine says, facts or nah, shut out.
No. I love my shutouts, but I'm going to go nah on this one, unfortunately. After last week, I'm skittish.
Well, I'm gonna go not because we can't do it. It's just because we're still playing a lot of people.
Right. Yeah, they're rotating in a lot of guys, and
Yeah.
offensively, I'm not sure I trust it just yet. Not to give the other offense a short field.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on the shutout as well. I think we're gonna give up at least a field goal. So
Yeah, same.
8 eats, facts or nah. Carlson kicks a 40+ field goal on Saturday. This is a good one.
Nah, he sucks from 40+.
Yeah, I can't see it just because I don't want to see it more than anything else, unless it's another one of those.
Be in a situation where we got to
Yeah,
kicking 40-yarders. Yeah,
unless it's another one of those end of the half scenarios that Brian Harsin was talking. Coach Harsin was saying he was trying to see if we could run the field goal unit on late at the end of the half type of thing. Outside of that, I don't want us to have to get stalled at the 28-yard line and be kicking. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to see that. So I'm gonna go nah just because I don't want to see it.
P?
Yeah, I'm hoping if we on 4th and 2 at the 32-yard line, we're just going for it. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm gonna say nah too.
I'm going nah here. We got a few more. Dave Metlock, facts or nah. Eku gets the most sacks this weekend.
I think it's going to be Derek. I'm going nah.
I actually
Derek
want facts here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go facts on this one as well. I just like Echo Leota is just he feels like he's hunting for it right now, man. So I'm gonna say he gets the most sacks this weekend.
B?
Sure. Let's go facts on Eku.
Last one here, and I got a few super chats to grab before we end this segment. Sherman Sarr, facts or nah, will we see special teams touchdown on Saturday? Thoughts, gentlemen?
Block punt, perhaps. Kickoff return, perhaps.
I'm going to say no on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go nah as well. I don't know, man, because Keontae Scott's my guy. I want to see Keontae. I'm going facts. Keontae, bring one home for me, baby.
I hear you, Big. I hear you, Ike. Nah, for me, though.
I'll play the percentages and say nah, just because those are rare. But I completely believe it could happen. But I'm gonna say nah.
All right, I think that's our last one. Mike, you want to close us out?
No, we can just move on to the next. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this live, by the way, moving forward. So if you want to get your facts or not questions in, just be present for the midweek report. And, we're going to do this live so we can get some engagement from you all on this segment.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, listen, let me grab a few supers, guys. Thomas Jones, appreciate the super sticker. And he says, even though the play was successful, do you guys think Auburn should have held on to the play where TJ and Robby was in on the option?
So Coach Harsin talked a little bit about this because, of course, everybody was asking about it to all the players and such. And they said that they have a lot of plays like this ready. And they're just trying to give Penn State something to think about on film. So they're just trying to throw stuff out there on film so that they have to think about it, which leads me to believe that that's not the only thing that they plan to do with both of them on the field at the same time. So no, I don't think they should have held it because of the fact that it feels like a mind game of like, you gotta prepare for it now because you've seen it. So what are you going to do in this scenario? Now we're going to do something completely different.
Right.
So
you show them the look, but then do something else that they're not prepared for.
All right.
All right, guys. Joe Kyle, appreciate the $49.99 super chat. Appreciate you. It says thanks for all that you four do. Thank you. Good.
Thank you, Joe.
Sir. Let me grab some comments here. Jaquan Grant says, what's going on with some Auburn fans saying Tank is kind of overrated? That's blasphemous. I haven't seen a lot of this. Have you?
Yeah,
that's what I had to jump in there and say last show.
Yeah, Blackerby brought this up on Locked On this morning. I had not seen it. I just think it's silly. Right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I've heard the Jarquez Hunter is a better running back stuff. I haven't necessarily heard that Tank is overrated. I think he's criminally underrated nationally. That he's not considered one of the top 5 running backs in the country. People are overwhelmingly feeling like Bijan Robinson is the best running back in the country, the Texas running back. And again, this is not a slight to Bijan Robinson. And I'm gonna sound a lot like Robby Ashford right now, but I'm gonna take 4 every day. I'm gonna take 4. If you give me anybody versus 4, I'm gonna take number 4. Just because I think Tank's that good.
He is.
So yeah. Underrated, no. Overrated, no. Underrated, absolutely.
Yeah.
Frank X says, I like how Robby respects TJ, even though Robby's more athletically gifted. I think that says a lot about both QBs.
It's culture.
Thoughts?
It's culture. That's
Yeah,
the difference in culture.
Robby made it clear when Mike and I talked to him, he wants to win football games, man. He was not happy about not being able to play football. He went to Oregon and he didn't get an opportunity to play. He's just happy to be playing football right now. His enthusiasm for the game is infectious, and he just wants to win, man. He wants to win whatever role that is he's going to play. He's going to do it to the best of his ability. He absolutely wants to be the starting quarterback. Who doesn't? But if he's got to work his way into that spot, he's just going to keep working. He's going to do it. If he maintains that attitude, he's going to be a phenomenal player because he has all the tools to do it. So props to him for the attitude that he is approaching all these things with right now.
Yeah, fans are the ones who pit these guys against each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, they respect and they compete and they go on. And like I said, I saw 3 quarterbacks all on the sideline engaged in the game and just kind of supporting the team. So,
listen, we commented on TJ Finley last year. He was the first into the end zone celebrating a great catch by his teammate. He was on the sideline. Like, these kids just want to play football and they want to win games, man. Like, again, we are invested in who's the starting quarterback. Who they want to win. And if the guys out there who's playing right, if the QB 1, wide receiver 1, starting left tackle, they don't. If you're winning, by all means, continue to go out there and ball. I want to help contribute to that win. But yeah, to Mike's point, we get more invested in this as far as like pitting them against each other than I think that they do.
Yeah. And I think they're probably happy to be in a place, like you said, like where they're actually getting a chance to compete. Like some guys might not like that. They might not like that they're thrown into a pool with a bunch of guys. But Harson's like, listen, man, you can get a chance to play at all positions. We thought Coy Moore was going to be like day 1 starter. Maybe he's got some ground to make up with the offense. But man, Malcolm Johnson improved enough to earn that starting job. He's giving it to the people that want it, that earn it. And I don't think especially for players who feel like they got glossed over, they didn't get a shot. What more do you want? They love it. They on board. It's a good culture to have.
My guy, Imani Smoot, not that we're looking ahead or anything, but facts or not, we're going to beat Georgia.
Imani is beating this Georgia drum tonight, buddy. He is ready for Georgia.
He says he already got the answer. We don't even have to answer. Hell yeah, we're going to beat Georgia, Imani says.
Hey, we'll see. We got a couple of weeks left. Let's see how we look against Penn State. Let's see how we look against Missouri. Let's see how we look against LSU.
For sure. But
5-0 looks a little more
going to
realistic.
tell you every week, though. He's going to tell you every week now.
Oh, he will. Yeah.
We can wait all we want, but it
come back next week and say it again with your chest, and I will be happy when you say it too.
Absolutely. Of course you will. Corey Weber says, should we be concerned with the secondary, gentlemen?
No, not yet. It's too early to be sounding alarms about the secondary.
I think we've got enough players in that secondary where, just like with the quarterback, if someone's not playing up to snuff, somebody else is ready to take that slot. DJ James looked good. Keontae Scott looked good. So we've got players in the secondary. I'm not concerned about the secondary. Again, we didn't even really do much exotic to try to do anything in that first game. Right. So, regardless of what helps your secondary a lot, and this is what I was talking about when I came on Sunday, and what Mike was talking about in the post game, and we looked at the film, and it didn't look as bad as first reaction. But what helps your secondary a lot is just a solid pass rush. Shout out to the Mercer quarterback. He did a good job of getting the ball out of his hands and a good job of avoiding the rush when it happened. That's not going to be every quarterback. That's not going to be every week. And that's not going to be the same defense as far as pressure that every quarterback is going to see. So when there's more pressure, your defenders don't have to defend as long. I am not concerned about our secondary right now. No.
Doug Easom says, what about Harsin saying he understands personal goals, but we operate as a team? I believe he's talking about his presser this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they should be focused on.
Right.
They're not again, they're not worried about this competition of who started who. Like, we just want to win football games. He's gonna keep playing multiple quarterbacks if he feels like that's what's going to make this team look good offensively, and people are just gonna have to be okay with it, or keep complaining and be okay with the W's that happen. I don't know. I don't really know what to tell people about feeling as if the guy who they're rooting for has to be the person starting or Auburn is in trouble. If the column to the left keeps having more numbers in it, I'm fine. And that's the W column for those that didn't.
There's a lot of folks that just want to be right about TJ Finley too much. There's a lot of folks that just want to be right about, how good they claim he is. These guys don't. They want to win.
Right.
Yeah. Danny Harrison, are y'all concerned with the offensive line? Because the offense starts with the offensive line.
I think the offensive line played fairly well.
I thought so.
It wasn't like flawless, but I don't think the standard for me is flawless. I think the offensive line did okay. Again, I understand it was Mercer, but if you watch the film, which I don't know, is Danny a member?
No, he's not.
Okay, well, Danny, if you decide to become a member or patron specifically, you can go back and watch the film. And what I talked about was run blocking, which was one of the things that we had an issue with last season, and how much better we looked in run blocking. Again, I get it's Mercer, but we weren't getting pushed along the offensive line in Alabama State, Akron, and Georgia State last year. So the fact that we did do it against Mercer this year means that there's been improvement. So I'm not concerned about the offensive line. I think that we'll be in a good position in the offensive line to continue to grow as they get an understanding of who that solid unit is going to be. If we stay healthy, then they'll get better every week. So I'm not concerned about it yet until somebody gives me a reason to be concerned. Did we even, we had one sack? I
don't remember. I really don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember if we actually got a sack.
Yeah. So again,
TJ Philly scrambled back to maybe the line of scrimmage or something like that. I think that happened maybe once.
Actually, no, Mercer did not. They did not give up a sack last week. I just looked it up. So, yeah, not concerned about it. And again, that was not the case even in the cupcake games last year. That was not the case.
Right.
So,
got a question here. Rod May is asking, do y'all think Keontae Scott eventually starts? I know, B. Will, you had him starting when the season began, but what do you guys think as the season goes on? Does he actually get into the first team?
Pritchett's going to have to, if he doesn't, show a little better on the back end back there, then yeah. I think Scott definitely impressed, and Pritchett did not game one, but that's game one. Everybody's got a chance to improve, and Scott definitely has the pole position in this case. So, excuse me, not Scott, but Nehemiah Pritchett has the pole position, being the incumbent. So, they're all going to get on the field because of how they'll mix up personnel back there. But I don't know how you keep Scott out of that position if he continues what we saw last week.
Yeah, I think that's it's similar to the TJ Finley situation. That's up to Pritchett. Pritchett right now is the starter. And if he doesn't play well, they're going to replace him. Listen, Mike, how many times do we say this over and over again? I have confidence in this coaching staff that if someone's not playing well, they're going to pull them and put somebody else in the game. So, listen, the starters are the starters until they've lost the opportunity to do that. So I like what I saw from Keontae Scott. I think that he can contribute to this team. But Pritchett is the one who controls his own destiny in that situation. He balls out, he keeps playing.
Yeah, they'll play the best guy at the end of the day. I think we just need to accept maybe the guy who starts and then the guy who's behind him are both good. I think that's a possibility as well. So
it is. Joey Kelsey says, I love it when the know-it-all broadcasters disrespect AU. That's when we seem to do the most damage.
We had an interesting conversation on a space about national broadcasting between outlets like us who cover locally. And a lot of these national guys, there's just no way they can watch enough football to know enough about every program. So they get on and they do what Danny Cannell did when they say stupid shit. And just so they can say something. Right. And it's completely unnecessary. This is why people are turning more to their local outlets for coverage, because if you want in-depth analysis about your team, you're not going to get it from ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Your Justin Hokinsons and your JG Tates and, you know, and these guys who are on the beat, Jeffrey Lees, they know more about Auburn than Kirk Herbstreit is ever going to know. So I don't care what Kirk has to say about Auburn and our chances. He's a talking head. He doesn't follow Auburn. You know, he only knows what people tell him. And he's more concerned about traveling around and Lee Corso heads and, you know, those kind of things. These guys don't cover Auburn.
Yeah.
So,
and to be clear, it's almost impossible for them to do that. Like, there's just too many teams in the country for them to be well-versed in all of them.
Right.
So they have to go off of narratives. And, you know, as connected as they may feel like they are to people in the region, even a lot of those people are SEC coverage folks, right? They're not even covering a team in depth. So this is one of those things where, you know, it doesn't help that some of the local media is so down on the team, right? So it reinforces narratives. A lot of the fan narratives reinforce those narratives. But yeah, there's very little opportunity for national broadcasters to be any level of knowledgeable about pretty much any team, not just Auburn.
right.
All right. Two more here. Rigger Spoon says, how wasn't Hall tracking the QB down on the sideline, not a sack?
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, I thought, but I mean, I don't know. PFF credited him, I think, with one sack, maybe. I got to go back and look.
So Eku Leota got credited with the sack for this.
He
game,
had the only sack.
but Hall did not. I don't know why, because I do believe it was a tackle for loss. And it was, I think, clear to me that he was attempting to pass, not run, even though he had scrambled outside of the pocket. So I don't know why he wasn't credited for the sack. He's going to be mad about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially if he doesn't get his record, he's going to be really tight.
Derek Hall is going to be upset that he didn't get credited with a sack on that play. I guarantee you, because he missed another one earlier in the game. So that was his one sack for that game. And so he will definitely be upset that he doesn't get that.
Yeah. PFF credited Leota, Hall, and Riley all one sack apiece.
Okay, so they changed it later because in the post-game notes, they only have one sack listed for Auburn.
Yeah.
So according to James Burnett, he was out of the tackle box, according to them.
Wait, I thought any sack was the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
I still don't think that matters.
Run, yeah, it should still be a sack for the defense. Because if they're rolling out, they're going to be outside the tackle box, and so I think it should be a sack. So if PFF says it's a sack, we'll go with what PFF says.
Okay.
Exclusive TV, JJ Evans, get him a he gone tee. Wish him the best. Same here. Definitely wish him the best for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Exclusive TV. Shankopotamus, unwritten rule: SEC teams don't sack FCS QBs. Watch the games.
I mean, we just said that we sacked them 3 times, so I guess we broke the unwritten rule. I didn't know that this was an unwritten rule. I've seen a lot of sacks happen in FCS versus FBS schools. So, all right, I'll watch more games.
Okay, all right. Ike, tell the people why they need to become, and we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, doing facts or nah, submitting questions, watching with us live. Appreciate you. Ike, tell the folks why they need to become a patron right now.
Yeah. You need to come on board with the War Rapport, because if you guys are asking questions we answered during Facts or Nah, you can only find that if you are a member of the War Rapport. So come on board with the patron level. $5.99 is what's going to get you there. We do Facts or Nah on Mondays, just breaking down all the film. Outside of that membership, you're going to be able to get in on the halftime and post-game chats for the game. So if you want to be able to chat with us after the game, you can watch it. But if you want to actually correspond as we're doing right now, you have to have a green name in order to do that. We'll have a lot to talk about post San Jose State. I am sure of it. Outside of that, you can have someone gift you a membership. You get 1 month free on one of your friends. They can gift a membership. That's a random assignment from YouTube. We don't have any control over who is able to do that. So you guys have to be able to just be active, and then you can possibly get gifted. That'll get you 1 month free, and then it'll be on you after that. We give away tickets to our members. So we're going to be giving away tickets to the Missouri game. So make sure you are here with us as a member before Wednesday's show next week, and we'll be giving away tickets to the next person who'll be able to get those. Shout out to our winner from this week for the giveaway. But if you want to be able to purchase something, you can go to the War Rapport shop. That is thewarreport.com. We've got articles up there, but we do have the shop there where you can purchase your own stuff. So maybe you want to purchase a He Gone t-shirt in honor of our man, JJ Evans. You can do that at the War Rapport merch shop. www.thewarreport.com is where you need to go for that. The Auburn Express is who we are on podcast, powered by the War Rapport. You can get all the audio content that we are kicking out here to you every single week. Some of that is audio only, so you can get exclusive stuff there in that situation. And just shout out to everybody who's continuing to support the War Rapport. We appreciate all of you.
And DeAndre Miller was the Penn State ticket winner, for the record.
DeAndre Miller, shout out to you, sir.
Guys, shout outs to you for hanging out with us again. We want you to do us a quick favor before you get out of here, whether it's live, replay, no matter. Share this video, guys. Share it on your social media. You see the hashtag below. Please use that. Smash the like button. Get the likes up. It helps us with our engagement. Please do that before you get out of here. And if you're new to our channel, we would love for you to subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. That helps us out as well. You guys, you can find us on social media. We're at The War Rapport, Twitter and Instagram. We're TW Rapport on TikTok. That's it for now, guys, but we will definitely see you this weekend. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.